Hi Leo, and welcome to Cosmic Brew Tarot. I'm Oscar. Today we're going to be doing a home and family spread. I figured with the holidays coming up, it's probably a good time for us to go ahead and explore some of those themes, dynamics, etc. Holidays have a way of putting us in touch with energies that we have distanced ourselves from, that we have conflicts with, that we put up with, that we love, that are on one side of a line of sand and not the other. And so yeah, there's a lot that can flow and happen. And when you have a lot of different families also coming together, because of marriage and such, things can get crazy. And so I chose for this spread to use the Game of Thrones tarot to reflect that. I don't usually use property decks like this, like things that are just like video games or movies and TV shows, but this deck is just illustrated so well. And I was just drawn to use it for a home and family reading. I'm also repping my Lannister shirt as a result. So, gotta love the lion. But yeah, I won't give spoilers to the show. Just in case. I don't know if that matters to you. I also pulled the home and family cards out of my Spellcasters Oracle deck, which I'm going to be using in conjunction with the Game of Thrones tarot. I wanted to get these feelings out onto, and get this vibe out onto our spread. So it's going to be a custom spread. We're going to be asking the energies that are supporting you at this time, the difficult energies to deal with, how to balance the two into harmony, what to be thankful for, how to best show your goodwill. And then at the very end, we're going to draw a card from the Cosmic Journey Oracle to give us a final piece of advice, your shining star on top of this non-denominational tree spread that I've got going on. So, I'm in a very good mood today. I'm not sure why, because not like anything really good happened other than just kind of I had a day to myself today. Anywho, reminder, because we have to give these reminders apparently. This is a general reading, so not everything's gonna fit. Don't make everything fit. It's a time for you to use your intuition and discernment, to train it, to take what applies, leave behind what doesn't. Don't take on energies. Don't try and make things fit that don't fit. You do not need extra energies at this time. You just don't. So don't take what's not yours. Leave it for whoever's it is, right? But of course, if you are seeing different ways to interpret what I'm saying so that it fits your situation, then great. Maybe you're taking away something, a different nugget than what I'm saying. All right, so let's begin. Energy supporting you at this time. We've got psychic abilities. Okay, with the King of Cups. Wow. Well, this is great energy. I don't know if this is... Let's say that this King of Cups could be you. I would love to say that it's you, right? Or it's someone in your home family dynamic that embodies this vibe. So we're talking someone who is someone who has a lot of control and mastery over their emotions. Someone who is coming across very balanced, coming across as still considerate, still understanding, still compassionate, like all of that, but just in more of it's a very controlled emotional way. And then with psychic abilities, I mean, this feels like someone who is very, very wise. who maybe, this to me is someone that you look up to a lot, that provides you a sense of peace and serenity and like a trust in the universe that everything's going to be fine. Whoever it is in your home family dynamic that embodies this is a supportive energy for you. Okay? Now, if this is you, congratulations. You are your own supportive energy. Trust yourself, trust your emotions, trust that they're guiding you in the right direction. You know what you need. Okay? So right now I'm just kind of leaving that up in the air. Let's keep going. I don't know if let's see what the difficult energies are to deal with, because that might help us see where you're at. But again, it's your situation. Every family dynamic is different. So you gotta take it as it comes. I've got animals for difficult energies to deal with. So I'm getting like people in the family that are just wild and acting a fool is what I'm hearing. And temperance. Okay, yeah, being patient around, some wild energies. There's definitely a feeling here that there's some... This difficult energy is the one that's like... trying to teach and simultaneously understand like a wild teenager. I get wild teenager from this, but I'm also getting like, those siblings that are just kind of like the black sheep of the family. I'm getting, that are just kind of wild and loose and free, and they don't really like, they've never really taken their duty to their family seriously, but then they're coming around and being like, no, I have all my stuff, I have all my ducks in a row, I figured it out. Like, it's someone who's very clearly, like, those people who are very clearly, like, going out and partying and doing all kinds of, like, wild, reckless stuff, but then coming home and then it's like, oh, yeah, no, but I'm washing the dishes, and I'm doing my chores, and I'm making money, and what's the problem? And it drives you insane, probably, because if it's a difficult energy to deal with, while you have this supporting energy that's more, this feels like a more calm and responsible and like forward thinking energy, whereas this one feels very like of the moment, live fast, deal with the consequences as they come, right? Like, yeah, sorry, I left the house a total mess from the giant party that I threw. I'm cleaning it up in the morning. And you're just like, oh, why was there even a party here to begin with? And why was it this insane? And like, that's just an example metaphor for what this energy feels like. It's just someone that is, they're just very living in the moment and very like that. And they're not necessarily being considerate, I think, towards you, even though they actually are. But you just like things done a certain way, and they do things a different way. And so then it's like trying to just recognize that we have to balance the two things. And you're just like, King of Cups, help me. I don't know what to do. It's a very interesting energy to have to balance out. Let's see how we do that. Let's find the harmonious way that Leo can balance these two energies, please. Oh, okay. This card wants to... It was like... closure. Okay. Hold on. Let's get a tarot card here. This card was being funny. I'm going to set it aside. It was like, it turned a full 90 degrees for no reason. Okay. The Star. And this other card was the 9 of Coins in reverse. So. I feel like it's time to stop being hard on this energy. It's time for this energy to stop upsetting you so much. It's time to see this energy as its own energy. It's an independent energy. It's not one that you necessarily vibe with and can live with. For extended periods of time, maybe even short periods of time. But it is an energy that you can respect, that you can value, that does bring its own sense of love and respect to you. Okay? Whatever's going on between these two energies, you're really being asked with Closure and the Star, the card of hope and faith and healing, you're really being asked to like just lay this to rest already, because with the 9 of Coins in reverse, we're talking about self-worth. We're talking about being like, listen, I understand that you're just the way that you are, and you understand that I'm the way that I am, and we have these benefits and these drawbacks, these pros, these cons. And as a result, like, yeah, sure, we couldn't possibly live together like this anymore, but I do still love you, and I do still, wish you the best, and I'm here for you, but I really, like, you obviously know that I'm a different kind of person. So you're going to get a certain kind of advice from me that may not really suit you and what you're looking for. And so but it's still my advice. And at the end of the day, if you don't want advice and you just want someone to talk to, I can be here for you. I don't want the fact that we're not necessarily seeing eye to eye, or that we're not necessarily like compatible. I don't want that to stop us from being compatible whatsoever. I think there's a lot here that does need to be put to rest. There's a lot of stuff that needs to just be let go. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be viewed in a positive light of just valuing them, appreciating them for what they are. Like, yeah, they might be wild and reckless, and they might be, annoying, whatever it is, right? But at the end of the day, they're still family. There's still a lot of love there, and put whatever the squabbles are that have occurred that showed you how different the two of you are. Put those things to rest, leave those in the past, and extend an olive branch. Just reiterate that you love them. Just reiterate that. I think sometimes we can get caught up in family dynamics where the rivalries that start off silly and maybe even friendly can turn ugly and hostile, and they can start perpetuating feelings of, I don't think that my sibling, I'm getting sibling, but this feels like sibling energy. But obviously this could be any other kind of, it could be parent-child. Because I see that too. What was I saying? Yes, it can perpetuate a narrative that's an internalized narrative of, I don't think that they love me. So why should I care anymore? They're obviously just fed up with me, but I love me, so I'm going to keep doing what I do, regardless of what they say. And as a result, then they're not listening to you in order to, like, help them. Like, I feel like there's an advice that you would love for them to go by, but at the same time, you know that they're not going to. So it's kind of like, well, at that point, it's like, well, I love you. I just wish that you would not be this way. Yeah. Look, all things considered, this energy is kind of cute. It is kind of cute. It might be a hard. It might have been hard. It might have seemed hard. It might have been overblown, or it might be very subtle. But either way, I do think that putting to rest any doubts about how and where your relationship actually stands is a good first step to harmonize this dynamic. Because you don't deserve to be driven crazy by this. You don't deserve to have to, like, keep constantly balancing out wild energy with responsible energy. Because it's nice to be both responsible and wild at the same time. That's my personal life philosophy. Work hard, play hard. So being the responsible one all the time is draining and annoying, right? And having to live up to that reputation too, because then when you're around that energy so much, it's like, ugh. You know, you have to kind of like stand your ground in this identity, this egoistic identity story narrative. I'm just spouting words. This narrative of, I'm the responsible one. So then when you do something that's not responsible, it's a whole thing. And frankly, it's like, you know what? Like, why don't we just come to each other as human beings? You know, two very different human beings who still love each other, who still support each other, and just call it that. You know, because I almost like, I'm getting like that, I'm getting like a scene where you just like decide to be like, all right, listen, take me out dancing. Let's go dancing together. And like, or let's kick back and have a couple of beers, right? And just like do nothing. You know, have them see you in a light that they typically don't see you in is probably a good way to get their guard down about you, so that they can see you in a different light beyond something that's like stuffier or serious. Yeah. if we were to do reversals of energies, okay? So like, let's say that the difficult energy is you're the wild child, you're the one that's always having to like balance out your this like wild, reckless, like live life, take it by the balls, like just live my life, have fun, and deal with the consequences later. You're always having to balance that because you are trying to make sure that you don't live in excess, right? And that's great. I feel like this other energy, then the supporting energy, is this, that you are respected for the fact that you do that. So, if you're not stumbling around all the time, like addicted to something, and you're in decent, healthy relationships, right? They're not abusive, and but you're still living it up, and you're healthy and wealthy relatively, then what is there to, and you're doing something that you love, then what is there to say to you? This energy might feel like they're failing or not showing up in the way that they're expected to show up. But they're still loved. So know that. So if I'm going to flip the script back and go to, you're the outside energy, or sorry, that this energy is another person in your family, then try to understand them. They're doing their best. They also want to live their life. They're just living life differently than you are. If they're doing work hard and play hard, great. If they're playing hard more than they're working hard, does it matter to you that badly? How does it affect you? Why does it bother you so much? What is it that you wish that they would see for themselves? I don't know. A lot of questions there to ask. Depends on the dynamic. What should Leo be thankful for? We've got lighten your load. And the Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so this is a card of honesty, being straightforward, being like fessing up. Yeah. Imagine this situation not affecting you the way that it does. Like actually just being able to like kick back with the energy and just talk, right? Like across a table, and laugh and relax and be honest and even have a good cry, right? Imagine being able to have that energy with, or that kind of relationship with this energy. Does that feel good? I feel like it would certainly take a load off, right? Not having to put up a front anymore. Allow this energy to see you in a different light, but also create situations or notice the situations where you see them in a different light. Try and I don't know, I create a situation is weird, but like because I'm thinking like see a situation. If something's it's almost like if you see this person doing something that is out of character, allow that to just be a pleasant surprise and an invitation to compliment them, to be like, hey, why don't we sit down and chit chat for a little bit? Or like, I'd love to hang out with you. let all this go. Let all this icky energy, whatever it is that's happening here, let it go. Let it go. Remove it. Go back to the focal point, which is I love you regardless of how you live your life, how you choose to live your life, and what your opinion is of my life. I love you regardless. All right, how can Leo best show their goodwill? Confidence. Yes. I've been loving this reading. It's super cute. It's such a cute reading. You see? Confidence. And the Four of Swords in reverse. And I'm going to draw this card because this one was also just being like interesting with me. Ah, the Ten of Coins. Aha! Yeah, listen. There is too much great happening in this family dynamic to be bogged down by how exhausting it can be sometimes. The Ten of Coins, right? We're talking about like this is the big family legacy card. I mean, like this is part of a long lineage. You are part of a long lineage. Whether your family reflects that or not, you are part of a very long lineage of people who have come together and loved and supported each other. And I'm sure that they were not all walks in the park either, right? They weren't all great, but they were enough to be there in the way that they were needed in order to make you and this other energy exist in the world. And yeah, you may have been thrown together and it can feel exhausting sometimes, but I think knowing who you are and what you bring to the table, while also recognizing what they bring to the table, does not take away from you and your contributions towards this home family life, right? It does not take away from it. It doesn't take away from you. You don't take away from them. But, let's try to come to an understanding here of how we can contribute better together versus apart. Or even when we contribute apart, right? Like, when do we need to contribute together? When do we contribute apart? I think also settling, for some reason, I'm getting that feeling as well. Like, we don't always have to do stuff together. We don't have to be super separate either, just because we can't get along sometimes or we don't see eye to eye. Because at the end of the day, we're still here. We're still trying. And that's what matters. So, final piece of advice. What's the shining star here? That's so cute. There are no wrong turns. I feel like that's a great mantra to repeat when you look at this person doing their thing. There are no wrong turns. They're just doing their life the way that they want to do it, and that's okay, because you're doing your life the way you want to do it. So, what if you couldn't make a wrong decision, wrong move, or wrong turn? How much pressure would that eliminate from your life? All roads lead to the exact same place of perfect perfection, just arriving via different routes. What have I been talking about here? You've come here with your cosmic assignment that keeps knocking over and over again. So don't worry, you won't miss it. We always want to be certain of our path, but life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you're almost there, and sometimes it feels like a long road ahead. It's only by embracing the ambiguity that you can create the surety that you seek. Journaling prompt for you. What mistakes or wrong turns have I made that ultimately ended up benefiting me? And it's a great way to put some things into perspective, right? We've all had challenges that we just walked right into. We walked right into it. We made the mistake and we should have known better. And yet we come away from it having really learned a lesson, having some unexpected circumstance that like a new person, you ended up meeting a new person as a result, and then that person has shown you so much more of the world in a way that you are so happy that you had a chance to, right? This is an example. So know that even if you think that someone's journey is not the best journey that they could be going on, know that it is the best journey for them. And same for you. So give them the same grace that you're going to give yourself here. All right. So the final action here, take one nagging problem you've been putting off and finally make a choice. And even if it has nothing to do with this particular situation, doing this, take a nagging problem you've been putting off and finally make a choice. Even just doing that might help you clear some energy in order to go ahead and face this appropriately. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, Leo. This was a great reading. I hope that this helped. I hope that it resonated. If it did, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Thank you for being a part of this wondrous cosmic brew, and happy holidays.